Sometimes your mind is nagging at you. Why can't I be better? I want to be better, but why am I not doing it? And then you see all these successful people around. Like, man, why are they so successful and not me? How did they change so much? And I don't want to go into the details of like how long it takes because it's different for everybody. So like for me, when I remember when I was 17, I was a terrible kid. I was lost. I was kind of an idiot. I did a lot of things that weren't the greatest. I was hanging out with wrong friends in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Growing up, I was not very confident in myself. And so I developed friendships around friends who felt the same way, and we were trying to do whatever we could to kind of feel better, be more confident. And so I met all these friends at Sunday school, at this Vietnamese school. We were supposed to be there to learn about God. We learned a little bit about some Vietnamese, but that didn't really happen. I went to a Vietnamese Catholic school, and instead of learning about God, we just hung out, played cards, sleep. But these friends I have, man, they weren't the greatest influence. So we usually so after school, we would get drunk. So getting access to alcohol was pretty easy. Let's just say that. And of course I wanted to fit in, so I just did what they did. And drank for no apparent reason, just to be dumb. And then next thing you know, you end up to a point where you either pass out or you yakking on the floor somewhere. The only benefit out of all of this was I was able to develop a tolerance to drinking. So by the time I turned 21, all the excitement of drinking had really much faded. But imagine this, like if I continue to spend more time with these friends, what do you guys think might happen? I'll probably become an alcoholic. I think I was for a period of time. If I didn't leave home in that same city I was in, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I'll still be around those friends, still be around that environment, still be around those influences. And if I didn't leave, I wouldn't have changed the way I think. So I want to share a little bit about how do you become a new person? How do you create real lasting change? We all want to change. Change is really hard. How do you start becoming a new person? Most of us start with taking action. And that seems to be a very long process, doesn't it? That seems like it's a 30-year process. And it doesn't have to be that way. And change can be instant. Honestly, anything is possible if you believe in it. I was lucky because I was the type that just said yes to everything. Dress better. Go read this book. It helps you work out better. Go read this book. It'll help change your mindset. I wanted to become a new person because I got tired of being insecure. I got tired of being lack of confidence. I got tired of being broke. I got tired of being a lot of things. There was a lot of things I was tired of. You gotta be frustrated. You gotta be tired of it. I don't want to live this life. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be insecure. I don't want to be unconfident in myself. I wrote down a sheet of paper. I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to own my own business. I want to be a millionaire. That was the identity that I wanted. So a lot of our identity, especially your identity, is created by your environment, your influences, your circumstances, your exposure, which then affect your behavior like your action and your habits. If I continue to identify as a weak, poor, and a failure immigrant kid from Vietnam, and then I'll never truly reach my fullest potential. And I'm still reaching my fullest potential now, but imagine I'll be stuck in that life forever. I'm gonna be honest, being broke sucked. Because when I was broke, I was not able to help anybody. The only thing I was able to help was, man, when's the next meal for me? When can I pay my next bill? When can I next, Big Mac? When can I get a next Taco Bell? When can I get that chalupa? They organize their thought. They organize their priorities. They organize their life. They pay attention to things. To become a millionaire requires you to do certain things that a millionaire does. Meaning, don't waste money on silly things. Don't jump straight into your self-satisfaction right away. Delay that. Delay gratification. That it will pay off. If you guys ever play computer games, I'm a 90s kid. I play computer games. And when you play games, the first day you play, you suck. And you got all these kids, man. They're like 12 years old. They've been playing for like 10 years straight. They're killing you. But you know that if you keep playing, you get better. And the same thing with every single skill that you develop. And to become a millionaire, you got to develop the skill that's required. I worked on myself so I can become a millionaire. I wanted to be confident in who I am. I had to operate from that mindset, from that identity. So how do you do it? Well, pretty simple. Number one, you got to revamp yourself. Let's go from 1.0 to 2.0 version of yourself. What helped me out a lot was pick someone that you aspire to be. It doesn't have to be direct contact. We have social media, we have YouTube, we have books. For me, I was following Tony Robbins, man. I was inspired by that man. Another thing you can do, change your environment. That's what I did. I left. Once I left, things changed for me. The first year was kind of tough, because there was no sense of order in my life. I was like, man, what am I gonna do? So I did whatever I wanted. I was so, my parents were so strict. There were just helicopters around me. They're like, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, don't do that. And I'm like, man, give me some freedom. And so I left. And then the first rough because I did whatever I wanted, party all the time, drink, hang out with friends, whatever. And then things settled. I got to get my life together. Like, I'm not a 4.0 student here. I had straight C's, and I was like, man, I can't believe this happened. I'm about to lose my scholarship. And so then I moved away, hoping that would change. And I was like, it's a little bit better. Now I got straight B's and a couple A's. It was too late. School was not going to be the path to my success. And eventually, I moved to Monroe, Louisiana, and that's where I started my business. I met the right person. And that took me away from the drinking and the partying. If you can't move away, clean your office, clean your house, rearrange it. For you as a person, get a new look. Change the dress code. Get a new closet, man. Get rid of everything. Cut out old friends. It's hard, man. You got to do that, though. And then find one new person to be with that aligns with your mindset. I used to go to Meetup to meet other people who were into business, who into, developing themselves, instead of hanging out with the people that were great. And of course, it's going to be hard to cut out old friends. I'm not telling you to do it right now, but, stop hanging with them. Stop picking up the phone call and be like, hey, I'm busy. It's that simple. But we don't do it. Why? You don't want to revamp yourself that badly. You don't want to change yourself. You don't want to get your new identity because you haven't accepted a new identity. Right now is who you do want to become. Six-pack millionaire with kids. And that's possible, right? You just got to make time for it. Number 2, you got to get rid of the old baggages you got. So imagine you're at the airport. Just think about this. So we're trying to get to the plane and you're struggling and you're battling. Why? You got too many baggage. Have you traveled with someone who carried like 10 baggages and it's just one person? You know how painful that is? Like, dude, you don't need to travel with that many bags. Like, you gotta be efficient. Things don't go well. You missed the flight. Now you can't take off. Your life is stuck because you can't take off because of all these heavy baggages. All of these things that you've been carrying throughout your life. You accumulate all these bags that's holding you down that you gotta carry with you. Remember when you and your wife finally move in together? If you guys are married, you got a nice, beautiful home. Next thing you know, you got extra boxes that you never open. And they're just sitting there. Burn those boxes. Get rid of them. Who cares what's in there? You're doubling up useless past stuff. And this goes in your life as well. You got to start getting awareness. Do daily reflection. Write down why you have these doubts. Where are the doubts coming from? Why do you think this way? Most of our progress is blocked by fear and self-doubt. That's a limiting belief. And so we have to let that go. It took me a long time to figure it out. I went to workshops, coaching, therapy. I did all kind of stuff. And if you're not spending time to do it, you're not going to move past it. The last thing is repetition. Repetition. You don't just exercise once a day and it's one and done. You need to show your new identity evidence every single day that this is your new identity. I spend time reading. I spend time listening to positive mindset. When I drive, I listen to that. I don't listen to music. I listen to that. Most of the time, 90% of the time, I listen to positive mindset. The only time I don't listen to that is when my kids in the car and they're like, I want to listen to my own music. They don't like listening to my positive mindset stuff because it's all repeat and they're like, I don't want to listen to this. Hopefully it's sinking into their mind though. What I do, I exercise and listen to a positive mindset. I spend intentional time with my kids is evidence that I'm a good father. How can you be a good businessman if you're not studying business? How can you be good at Amazon if you're not doing Amazon? Product research. How can you get better at product research? How can you get better at finding opportunity if you're not showing evidence of that? That's what you got to do. Repeat yourself. I am a successful businessman. This is what I do. Building a new you start with your core identity. You got to remember that. It starts from the top and then it works its way down. It makes it more instant for you to change. It makes it easier for you to change because it focuses on who you want to become. It will require consistent effort, reflection, and growth. It's a journey of you becoming more aligned with the best version of yourself, your 2.0, right? You got to move from your 1.0 to the 2.0. Stay focused on the mission. You got to know what your mission is. Your mission is to become that person. And you got to start showing evidence so that you can believe in yourself. And when you start believing in yourself, change will happen.